There are 7 billion people on our planet Earth, and nearly half the world population, unfortunately, suffers from addiction. Whether it's alcohol, cigarettes, or even drugs. Drug abuse is one of the leading causes in deaths and is a major problem facing our world today. Today we talk to someone who knows what it's like to go through addiction. This is her story.
Hi, I'm Christine Torres. I'm 50 years old and I am an addict.
Chris discusses her journey and her struggles with addiction that she has faced for several years.
Currently, I am somewhat clean. I'm only been clean for 4 days. I did a relapse. I've been addicted to crack cocaine and pain pills since I've been about 35 years old. Uh, my first love was the pain pills. Didn't really know what a pain pill was back then. Wasn't really familiar with, anything because it wasn't as bad back then. One of my friends, so-called friends that I worked with, she gave me a half of Vicodin, and that's when I fell in love with it. Went to the doctors, and basically I kept getting pain pills. It didn't matter what type of pain I had. I could have had a headache, and I had to take that pain pill right away and everything. And the crack cocaine came along later throughout the year. I just like everything about it. I can't really explain it. I just love the taste, the smell, the crackle, everything. When I used to use pain pills, I haven't used pain pills for like 3 or 4 years now. I would use them. Of course, when I first started, it was an everyday thing. As I progressed on using, it would be an everyday thing then. I would use up to 30 pills a day throughout the whole day and everything. And then with the crack cocaine, which came on years later, I didn't use every day because at first I didn't care for it, but then once I started using more and more of it, that's when I fell in love with it. And I would also use every single day, a few times a day. It's been about, oh boy, I'm 50 years old now, so 35, when I was 35 I started, so what's that, 35? About 15, almost 20 years ago I started using drugs. And like I said, I started using later in life because I didn't know what a drug was or what an addict was. I didn't know you could get addicted to anything like that. Oh boy, I have relapsed so many times, so many times. I can't even count, even on my fingers. That's how many times I have relapsed. And the best thing to not relapse is going through the program, the NA, AA, HA program, any of those type of programs. Go to meetings, meetings, meetings. Get a sponsor. You definitely need a sponsor to work the steps, and that's where I was lacking in. I did not work the steps like I was supposed to.
One of the biggest issues with addiction is trying to get yourself help and fix all the mistakes that you had made. Chris also talks about those unfortunate moments.
I've been to rehab probably 10 to 12 rehabs, I would say. Now, some of them are the same rehabs that I went to, especially down in Florida. I was down there twice, but the second time I went down there, that was my best time rehab was down there in Florida, in Eustis, Florida. And then right after that, I went to a sober living house in West Palm Beach, and that was like the best that it did me really good. The biggest step that I took help was admitting that I was powerless over my addiction. And that is the hardest step that anybody could take. Admitting that you are powerless, that you cannot use anymore because you can't use like other people that are not addicts. Other people, like, they could use maybe once every 5 years. Well, that's not me.
Another thing that heavily affects those who are addicted to substances today is their home life. Many of those have lost their jobs, family, and nearly their entire life to addiction. This is another important issue Chris talks about in her journey.
Well, my family life is not good. It really affected my family big time. I lost my youngest son through custody. His father has custody of him because of my addiction. And a lot of my family members that I have also use. So it was really a lot on my parents also, and it's still to this day, still affecting my parents and my son. Oh wow, the money. Oh boy. I've lost so much. I've lost my furniture. I lost everything in the house. My furniture, my bedroom set, my kitchen set, my washer and dryer. I lost thousands and thousands. I wish I could tell you, but it's thousands and thousands of dollars. I will give you a rough estimate on how much I would spend a day on pain pills. I would spend at least $200 to $300 a day just on pain pills every single day for like 15 years. Well, the lessons I've learned is don't use. I lost everything. And I can still lose there's more for me to lose. But I want to try to get all that back, so I need to be straight and forward, with my family and everything, and telling them that, that I do need help when I need help.
Here is some advice that Chris would like to give out to those who are either suffering from addiction or those who have been affected by addiction.
Please, please, please do the meetings. Like I said, get to the meetings. There's meetings everywhere. Now with this COVID-19, yeah, there's not as many meetings now, but there is one or two somewhere out there. There is. Or even go online. Online, you can definitely find meetings online, or I even go on YouTube and listen to stories and stuff like that. And also use your steps. Your 12 steps. Use your 12 steps. You definitely need them, and you definitely need a sponsor. A girl with a girl and a guy with a guy.
Addiction is one of the leading causes among deaths in our world today, and is the leading cause of deaths in Ohio. If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction, please seek help now. This is a list of websites that you can use to find help and make yourself a better person. Nobody should have to go through addiction alone. Together, we can help everyone and make the world a better place.